welcome to episode 15 of Let's Hear It. 5 weeks of these so far, and this is the Labor Day weekend memorial show, special show with Jeff Hill. Jeff is a great bass player, a record producer, plays lots of other instruments. For years he played with Rufus Wainwright, also many years with the Chris Robinson Brotherhood, Teddy Thompson, Amy Helm. He's currently playing with Steve Earle, and many other people as well, both on the road and in the studio. He's in Connecticut today. Let's say hello to Jeff Hill. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Gary. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Doing okay.
Nice to see you. I miss seeing you play music.
Yeah, me too. I miss seeing everybody.
Yeah.
At least we have Zoom.
We do have Zoom. That is somewhat helpful. I know you have a 1951 Fender Precision Bass, the first year that they made those.
That is correct. This is it, right here. She's a beaut.
I, of course, have seen you play that many times, but why don't you give us the story about it, and where you got it, and what you know about it, and then we'll hear what it sounds like.
Well, I got this, it was really a fluke. I wasn't even looking for an instrument. My good friend Peter Sillett called me up when we were living in Brooklyn and wanted to go to Mandolin Brothers to find a archtop guitar or acoustic guitar or something. And I just went along for the ride, and Mandolin Brothers doesn't really have a lot of electric instruments. It's mostly acoustic instruments and guitars and mandolins and stuff like that. But they maybe had like 4 basses in the whole place. So I was there. I was just kind of checking things out, and there was this one bass on the wall. It was this one, and it didn't have any markings, as you could see. Like, everything has been stripped off this bass, even the back. There was no like serial number or anything on the back, and it just said like 1952 ? Fender, NSN, no serial number. And so I played it, and it was set up really bad, and it had these Bakelite, I'll show you, they're Bakelite saddles. Let's see, where are they? Are they in here? No, they're not in here. Uh-oh, Kieran strikes again. Oh, here it is. These little Bakelite saddles. And they're made of Bakelite, and they're just these round saddles, and they were all grooved up, and it was really hard to play, and it was all muted, but I kept going back to it, and it was just like it just had this really funky thing to it. So I was like, oh, all right. Peters was taking a long time. I kept going back to the bass, and finally I was like, there's something special about this bass, and so I kind of I decided I was going to buy it, and it was kind of, didn't know what it was, and there was all these bridge covers, which I can't find. They're ashtrays that would go over this. And then after I bought it, I looked under the ashtray, and there was a little, underneath the bridge saddles, it said Fender patent pending, and then it's 0145, which is very, very early Fender bass, before they even had a patent. So I was like, I guess I scored. I would have never been able to afford this if I had known about the serial number. It would have been worth a lot more money. I've since replaced the saddles with these Wilkinson offset. They only have 2 per string, 1 per 2 strings, so they're really hard to intonate because they'd just be one straight thing. So I got these so I could get them on the right angle, so I could actually keep it in tune. Like, all the way up, it's still in tune.
Do you remember how much you paid for the bass at the time?
I think it was $2,800 for this bass. And this is 16 years ago, something like that. So, yeah, it's been a kind of a special bass for me. I've gone all over the world with it. I actually played it with the CRB for a while until I got really nervous because it almost fell over. And so that's when I decided to make a copy of it to tour with. So I have my copy over here. I'll show it to you. And so I made this out of parts, very specific parts that I had the exact same weight, and the neck very similar, and I even had no markings. And a buddy of mine, Evan Webb in Columbus, made actual Bakelite saddles for it. Can I see that? Original Bakelite saddles, and he even stamped the bridge with 0145. And it's a Bakelite pick guard that's been painted just like this one. This was originally black, and somebody painted it, and I just left it that way because it looked cool. You know, so they have the string through body. They're very similar. So I actually use this on the road with the CRB quite a bit, and yeah. So now I don't play it much because I'm home. So I play this one. It actually sounds better.
And how does that imposter bass sound compared to the original?
Well, I put in a pickup that's, you know, these original single coil pickups, they buzz. They have a 60 cycle hum. So some rooms you get in with the lights, and it would be really loud buzz. And so I put in a humbucking 51 from Lindy Fralin on that bass, and so it didn't buzz. It was really quiet. It's just not. It doesn't have the same kind of oomph to it as this one. Yeah. But it, you know, I didn't worry about it. So this one I was just too worried about to keep it on the road. So it's been retired from the road. I don't take this out anymore.
Has anybody from Fender seen that bass, or has any official person from Fender, or obviously repair people have seen it, but has anyone from Fender seen it?
No, not really. I've never been in contact with Fender about anything, so I'm below their scale of of people that they like to endorse. So I also took the bridge covers off because I like to you know have my I like to mute with my palm, and so the bridge cover's right there. You can't mute, and then I also like to kind of move my fingers around, and which the cover was in the way. So
nice. Well, that kind of bass was played by some of the greatest bass players ever. So let's hear what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean it was you know, in 1951 Fender Leo just was trying to, you know, pawn these off on people, so he gave one to Lionel Hampton, and then Monk Montgomery ended up playing one. He became like the first like real solo, you know, bass. It was, you know, that's Wes Montgomery's brother. He became the first, you know, kind of bass soloist guy, electric bass solo guy, and he played just regular Fender bass in Lionel's band too. And then like Bill Black had one. He actually used Elvis's bass player. Bernard Odom, James Brown's bass player, you know, and Little Richard's bass player, Olsey Robinson, had it. I could actually play that little ditty. So that's Lucille, Little Richard. He, you know, all the guys. I noticed that a lot of the early guys, they actually, you know, they have this thumb rest, this rest here, and all, you know, Monk Montgomery and Bernard Odom and Olsey, they really played with their thumb mostly with these basses. It's interesting. Most people play with their fingers now. Not a lot of thumbers that aren't slapping. Who else played it?
James Jamerson.
James Jamerson did not play a 51. He played a 64, 62 or something. 62, I think. Wilton Felder played one on Root Down Live. Jimmy Smith.
Amazing. Give us another little example, and then we'll let you go back to the kids.
Know who else played it? Is I believe David Hood on I'll Take You There. That
Steeple Singer's song.
Yeah, and if you listen to the record, it's like it sounds just like this bass. It's amazing. It's they really have this one beautiful fat sound. They get really bright too. I have the kind of rolled off the, but it.
Are you playing through an amp or are you going direct?
I'm going direct with I have like a little amp simulator on there too. So
Do you want to give us an example of what the replica, the understudy bass, sounds like?
yeah, it's a little anemic. Yeah, it's a little it sounds newer.
Yeah, yeah, you can hear the difference, but that's certainly an acceptable backup to take on the road.
Yeah, and once you get it through an amp and you got it pumping, it's pretty good. And it's beautiful. I love it, but I spent a lot of time and energy thinking about it and making sure it was kind of just right.
Yeah. Where did you get the parts? Where did you get that body?
I got this from Music Craft in New Jersey, and they have like upcharges for like ultralight bodies and different. I actually had a roasted body and neck, so it kind of aged it a little bit, took some of the moisture out of the wood. I didn't go to the I guess there's some table in there's like these vibration tables in Los Angeles that you could put instruments on and it'll actually age the wood. Because as wood vibrates, the pores get denser, so that the wood actually gets more resonant and denser as they age. But it's a good one. We'll see how she ages.
Yeah. Well, we know that the original has aged well.
Oh yes.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff Hill. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks.
Have a great holiday weekend. I hope to see you soon. Well, there you go. A 1951 Fender Precision Bass made in the second month that they actually put those into production. Thanks to Jeff Hill for coming on and showing us that bass and his replica bass that he made. And everybody have a nice holiday weekend if you're in the U.S. and have a nice weekend if you're outside of the U.S. And we'll be back on Monday with another episode of Let's Hear It. Please sign up for our YouTube channel if you can. We also have a Facebook page, Let's Hear It Facebook page, and soon to come a website. And we'll see you in a couple days.